Playing 007 is the race to ace for every top Hollywood man. The male bravado is high in this role, but not every actor is lucky enough. The same can be said for Avatar actor Sam Worthington, but he missed out on the opportunity to play James Bond. Sam Worthington is perhaps the most recognizable face in Hollywood. He's now the leading man of two of the most highest-grossing films of all time. I practically watched Avatar 1 and 2 a gazillion times, and I can't imagine anyone else playing Jake Sully. That's what happens when the audience comes to love a certain actor for a certain character. Same goes for the iconic British Agent Hunk, who has the privilege of being portrayed by some of the biggest names in the industry. Following Daniel Craig's exit from the franchise, the biggest question remains: who is going to be the next James Bond?
In America, I love America, and two were born in LA. Yep, and one was born.
It's like an open season for Hollywood men, and anyone who would bag the role will probably have it for a while. That's why the franchise is looking for a relatively younger version of Bond. Sam Worthington was one of those faces who wanted a piece of the Bond universe.
I think briefly once, named Sigourney,
But there's a twist. While the race is on for actors to play the role after Craig, Worthington was one of the few actors who auditioned for Daniel's role. Sam was eyeing to kickstart the Bond movies with Casino Royale, but Worthington's audition didn't cut it as well as Daniel's.
Take one job at a time, and then eventually when I'm 90, look back and go, oh, that's what a career was.
He was an unfamiliar face before he skyrocketed to stardom, thanks to James Cameron. And if we have to compare the two actors just for the sake of it, Daniel Craig wasn't exactly a household name before Casino Royale.
I have, and we do celebrate it. And in fact, I have American friends as well, so I've celebrated it.
You have American friends?
Imagine.
The movie is considered his big break, just like Avatar was for Sam. Almost a decade after his gigantic blockbuster, the Avatar star revealed how he missed out on the 007 audition. Longtime producer for the franchise, Barbara Broccoli, was still overseeing everything when Worthington flew from New York to London for the audition.
Grab my shovel, knock it out in no time.
I'm okay.
According to the actor, he came this close to landing the iconic role, but believed he lost out to Craig because of failing his screen test. Talking to Variety, the 46-year-old actor recalled this screen test in London. He even had his hair cut by Barbara in the hotel room, and he believed real hard that he just might make it. But it turned out that Sam in the staple Bond tux didn't match the producer's vision of the character.
This is a busy man.
I got to be honest, I begged.
The actor admitted that he had no idea what he was doing. His aura was perfect for playing a killer in the movie, but something Bond-like was missing. Worthington even admitted that the suit didn't fit him.
This prophecy, she knew what she had to do. She loved the people so much.
He must have meant that both physically and ironically. The role eventually landed in Daniel's lap, and it was the perfect lap if we look at it. Craig was meant to play Bond, and Worthington was meant to be with the Na'vi people. Even when he lost to another actor, he still learned something new.
Sure is busy. How come she had to die?
Worthington was able to turn his missed opportunity to get insight on what it's like to be part of a successful franchise, as rejection should not always be taken as something toxic. The actor recalled in an interview that he even went out to dinner with the producers after Craig was selected. There he gained valuable insight into the making of a successful movie franchise.
The biggest thing we have here, right?
There's other things. It's massive. I mean, it's massive and it's weird.
Maybe that's the reason why Sam has been able to hold the Avatar movies. Sam thought that the Bond producers were incredibly detailed and passionate about the series. The same thing he felt with director James Cameron.
And so I'm combining things that I love, like making Avatar and going into the ocean. I love all that stuff.
You can ask them anything about the movie, and they have the answer. But not only Bond, Sam also missed out on playing the Green Lantern, an opportunity I'm sure he will not regret missing if he watched the movie. Worthington shared that he didn't get the concept when he met the producers for the audition. He didn't get how the green spandex was like a part of the character's skin. Sam hilariously admitted that when they asked him to wear the ring on the table, he was like, "It's not real, is it? It was a time when superhero movies weren't as big as they are now."
Mentions the shack, signed Papa. Who else knows that?
So it's safe to say that Sam got a nice save, instead of becoming part of something that even Ryan Reynolds regrets to this day. Speaking of regrets, there are other actors who also feel sad about not being able to wear the Bond suit. Sometimes Hollywood actors give it their all to play their dream roles, like Henry Cavill gave it his all to play Superman and The Witcher.
Yeah, for the movie, but generally sort of off movies, I tend to be off season. And
it was just not meant to be. Guys, come on, don't start crying again. James Bond broke many actors' hearts, including some A-listers as well. Again, Henry also auditioned for the role back in 2006.
On Superman. You know what? I really loved my suit. I thought it was pretty cool. However,
the actor revealed in the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast that it eventually came down to him and Craig. Henry was the younger option, as he was only 23 at the time, but the ex-Superman admits that it was better to cast Craig as he wasn't ready to play Bond. That guy is just gold. Unlike Sam Worthington, not many actors blew their chances to be in the Bond universe. Most of them just thought that it wasn't the right call, like Gal Gadot.
And beyond what we've all expected, and we had many expectations for the movie, but
who could have played a Bond girl way before she ever appeared on Fast and the Furious. She got the call to play Camille Montez in Quantum of Solace, a role that would have melted on her exceptionally, but she was only working as a model at the time and refused, saying that she wasn't an actress. Not that it would have mattered, all we would have wanted to see was Gal in action, actress or not. Fortunately, that was the calling for her, as after denying that role, she actually started considering a career in acting.
the Godot used to be Greenstein.
really,
Yeah, that we felt like Godot is.
But who can forget Anthony Hopkins' musical chair with the Bond role? The scene with Anthony Hopkins and the Bond franchise goes way back. Hopkins gained the attention of Team Bond after starring in When 8 Bells Toll, an edgy movie that was exactly the opposite of 007. What could have been a better identifier than that for the role? First, he was offered the boss man's role, but he declined. Then there were villains on the table, but it was a big pass from him on that too. All in all, Hopkins was offered multiple roles, but he chose to decline, and Christian Bale followed in his footsteps. Bale is an interesting man, and he's done all sorts of complicated stuff.
And just the nature of with the pandemic and everything, I ended up I'd verbally committed to different films. So
it was revealed that Bale was practically offered the 007 role on a plate. Barbara Broccoli reportedly said that the role was his for the taking. That was back in 2006 for Casino Royale. But unlike many actors who regretted not getting the part, the ex-Batman was clear on his stance. Bale had already done a serial killer role, which he surprisingly considered was also part of Bond's characteristic. In his exact words, Bale didn't want to represent another stereotypical character about England or British actors. I mean, yeah, I've never seen a handsome agent kill off dudes in a tux, except for Tom Cruise. And that was the end of the story for Bale and Bond, because he went on to star in one of his most successful trilogies, Christopher Nolan's Batman. Other actors like Sean Bean, Hugh Jackman, Al Pacino, Whitney Houston, and even David Bowie gracefully bowed out from the franchise. As for who is going to be the current Bond, names like Aaron Taylor Johnson, Jacob Elordi, Henry Golding, Idris Elba, and Lashana Lynch are every bookie's favorite candidates right now, until we know for sure. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.